So this is the Compass Camino 644, just going to take you around the van and show you how it operates. In front of the van you've got your jockey wheel, hitch and handbrake. We'll take you through this in person here on site, and we'll also demonstrate or talk you through how the ATC works. In the front locker you have your two gas bottle tie downs. They're very simply there to tie your gas bottles down so they don't move while you're travelling. And up on the bulkhead you have your gas regulator itself. Now the gas regulator on the bulkhead in this particular caravan is a gas changeover valve, so you'll notice it has two gas outlets, one either side, and an arrow just here on the regulator dial itself. This arrow, or this point, is pointing towards the gas pipe work on this side of the caravan. Then it will run from the gas bottle on the left hand side, and if you turn this valve over to the right hand side, it will run off the gas bottle on the right hand side. When the gas is turned on, this red piece in here will actually go to green, and if the gas bottle runs out, that will also go back to red as well, so just to inform you. On the side of the caravan you have your Aldi heating and hot water flue. This is very simply there to allow the heating system or the heating and hot water systems to breathe. You don't need to do anything with it, you leave it open at all times and you never cover it up. On each side at the front you have your wind down legs for stabilising the caravan. Again, they are just there for stabilising, they are not there for lifting the caravan. If you lifted the caravan with these, it could potentially damage the floor of the caravan. Next up you have your water pump connection. Water pump pulls out the side of the van and pushes into the side of the caravan, and you can push the cap down here to lock the pump in place. The battery and mainly we put a battery on here just to demonstrate everything is working. That will be taken off prior to the caravan been taken today. It is just a demonstration battery. If you'd like a new one, we can fit one at the price of £75. You've also got your mains power lead then that is coming in from the power on site and is connected, and so the whole caravan is now connected up to power, and that is very simply there to allow basically the umbilical cord for the caravan. You've then got your motor mover and your wheel nuts. The wheel nuts will torque before the caravan leaves site, and we'll also demonstrate the motor mover so you can see it is operating correctly. Also on the side of the caravan you'll find your two grey waste pipes. Now they are just simply there to allow the fresh water that goes in the front of the caravan to come back out down the side here once it's been through the sinks and the shower. You've then got your toilet tank at the back of the caravan. Just here, which will open up. Orange handle will release the cassette. The neck here turns out so the waste can be tipped away. The grey measure is a measure for your blue fluid, so this cassette here will take 1 litre of water and a cap for the blue fluid. On the back of the cassette you've got an orange pressure relief button, so when you're tipping the waste away it doesn't spit and splatter back at you. On the back of the caravan on either side you've got your wind down legs, which are simply there to stabilise the caravan again, and as we said at the front of the van, you wouldn't lift the caravan as it would potentially damage the floor. Underbed storage for at the rear of the caravan on this side of the van, we can access from the outside and the inner side of the caravan. Two fridge vents. Two fridge vents are simply there to allow hot air at the back of the fridge unit and to take some cool air in, and behind one of those you'll also find a gas flue for when the fridge is running on gas. Coming towards the front of the caravan you have your underbed storage, so you can access that by opening up the locker, your barbecue gas point at the front, and the last of the wind down legs. Going inside the caravan now. As you come in the door on the left hand side you have your main power switch just here, so if I turn this switch off it would turn all of the power off internally. You have your lighting on the caravan, and the same with these two switches here. I can't remember exactly which lights to do, but that is the lighting switch essentially. So I'm sure this one's your warning light on the outside, and then you've got your interior lights on these two panels here, two switches here. Then got your water pump on and off and your water pump run and how you want to run that, but I'll explain a little bit more about that in a moment. You've then also got your battery voltmeter and your onboard water tank level, which again I'll explain a little bit more about in a moment. So now we've got the power on inside the caravan. We're going to come underneath the seat on the front right hand side of the van, and we're going to be looking for the yellow drain down valve. That yellow drain down valve needs to be parallel with the floor before you try and fill the water system on board the caravan. If that was upright and pointing towards the bottom of the seat, all the water on the system on board the van would drain back out onto the floor underneath. Once that valve's parallel with the floor, you can come over to every tap on board the caravan, open them all up on the hot side of the water system. As you can see here, I've already filled the system, but you'd normally leave that tap open and there'd be no water in the system initially. You come over to the control panel by the door and you'll notice you have two options for your water pump run. You either have internal, which will fill the onboard water storage tank at the back there, or you have external, which is the way we're going to fill it now. So you put the switch on, that will start filling the onboard water tank, start filling the onboard water systems. Once all of them systems are completely full, you'll have water running continuously out of every tap on board the caravan. At that point then, you can shut all of the taps back off and the water system will be completely full. During the winter, we do advise you drain down the caravan completely. So you'd open up the yellow valve underneath the seat, open all the taps up in the central position, and you'd also drain down the onboard water storage tank down the back here, which is on that blue valve on the side. And the circular part would need to be on the left-hand side rather than the right-hand side as you are looking at it. And that will drain that water system down. I'd also advise that you put your shower head on the floor in the back of the caravan or in the shower, just so no water sits in the pipework up to the shower. Once you've got your water systems full on board the caravan, you'll come back to this control panel just here. Oh, sorry, no. If you want to run the water system off the internal supply, once you've got that tank full by running it from the external, you need to have that switch on internal, open up the tap, and the water system will run as you'd expect it to. Basically, the internal switch here turns on the internal pump. The external is the external pump. To run the taps from any of the water systems, you always have this switch back in the central position, so essentially the off position as it looks, but the taps will run in that position. So that is your water fill system. Above that, you have your Aldi heating and hot water. Now, this is a more advanced version of the Truma systems essentially, and it is actually wet central heating. So you've got power on and off for the control panel here. You can see it's already on. We'll hit the menu button and it will let us into the options. The top row here is your room temperature. You've got plus or minus to set your room temperature. Below that, you have the hot water. So you've got hot water off when this bar is completely empty. You've got hot water on when this bar is halfway up. And you've got hot water boost when this bar is completely full. So if you're showering on board the caravan, you'll need to have this all the way to the top so it boosts. And if you just want the water ticking over so it keeps it warm, you'll have it in the central position just here. We've then got 1, 2 or 3 kilowatts of power coming into the caravan. What this relates to is the amount of power coming into the caravan from the caravan site you're on. You'd need to select the relevant power source before using the heating and hot water, as it could potentially trip the power on site if you had it set on the wrong power source. Down the bottom here on the left hand side, you have the option to run the heating and hot water on gas. Simply hit the flame symbol and it will self-ignite. If it fails to ignite, it will come with gas fail at the bottom of the screen and you'd need to try and reignite it. Bottom right hand side of the screen here, you have some advanced options. For these, we do advise you read the manual that comes with the caravan, and that will walk you through the step-by-steps on how to set your heating and hot water programs, etc. for the caravan. Hob Oven and Grill all works very much the same as your household appliances. You just need to remember you have the hob lid completely open to get gas to go through to the cooker and hob as well. The electric ring on the back of the hob will only work when you've got a 240 mains power supply coming into the caravan. It will not work if you have no 240 supply. And that is the same as the microwave, which is an eco microwave. So when you want it to come on, you have to hit the eco button. And as you can see, it will wake back up. We then have the fridge system. Very simple to use. You've got power on and off on the left-hand side here. Press the button and it will come on. At the moment, we're on mains power, so the plug symbol indicate mains. And then you control the temperature of the fridge on the button on the right-hand side. The higher this bar goes, or the higher these bars go here, the colder the fridge will be. To ignite the fridge on gas, you'll hit the gas option. If the gas is turned on, it will self-ignite. We would advise before you try and ignite the fridge that you always ignite the hob first, so you've got gas through to every point of the system. And again, if it ignites on gas, you can control the temperature on the button on the right-hand side here. If it fails to ignite, it will flash the blue light just here and the red warning light on the opposite side. And this is also a reset for the igniter, so you'll press and hold if it fails to ignite, and it will start the process of igniting again. If you're travelling down the road and you want to use the fridge as a cool box, once you're connected to the car, you can come inside the caravan. You don't have to have the control panel on inside the door. Turn the fridge on and hit the 12-volt battery. What that means is 12-volt supply from the car you're towing with, not from the caravan. So it will only work as a cool box when you are connected to the car, and it is literally a cool box just so it keeps the beers and wine a little bit cold. Coming into the bathroom, and the last thing we're going to go through on this particular caravan, or two last things we're going to go through on this caravan. Radiators, please do be careful of them. They do hold heat for a long time after use, so be aware of that. And then you've got the toilet system, which is very simple to use. Electric flush that runs off the water system on board the caravan. Red indicator light here indicates that the toilet cassette is completely full. The toilet seat itself turns for your convenience. However, when you're removing the cassette from underneath the caravan, it needs to be in the central position, and also the grey waste handle needs to be in the central position so that you can remove the cassette. But when you're using the loo, you do need to have this flap completely open. So this is the Compass Camino 644. If you have any further questions on the caravan, please don't hesitate to give us a call here at the Caravan Company, and we'd be more than happy to help. We appreciate the business, and we look forward to seeing you here on site soon when you collect your caravan. Thank you for now. Bye-bye.